There have been many claims on TikTok that there are no ships at the port of Seattle, and pictures have been shared showing completely empty terminals with no shipping containers. The logical jump people are making from these images is that the United States is screwed. In another 1 to 2 weeks, the shelves will be empty, and the port of Seattle is at the tip of the spear of a tariff-created consumer Armageddon. But is it true? Our team went down to the Port of Seattle to see for ourselves, talked to shipping experts, and reviewed port operations over the last 6 years. What's the punchline? The truth usually lies in the middle, and that's the case here. Let's take a look at this claim, which is going viral on TikTok. Full stop. I do not want anybody going after or harassing this creator.
This is the Seattle port today. This is where all of our imports come in. My whole life, I've always seen Maersk, Maersk, or Hoyland side shipping containers. This has always been full of shipping containers. Not today.
The Port of Seattle has 5 terminals: Terminal 5, Terminal 18, Terminal 30, Terminal 46, and Terminal 86, the grain terminal. Her video shows Terminal 46, which is off East Marginal Way, west of T-Mobile Park and Lumen Field. But there's a problem. Terminal 46 was closed to container traffic in mid-2023 and has been used to store new cars ever since. You can see this transition on Google Earth Pro. Here's August 2022, still an active terminal. June 2023, the containers are almost fully drawn down. April 2024, no more containers with new cars visibly parked. July 2024, just cars. And the latest image from Google Earth Pro is from September 2024, and it shows just cars and 2 non-cargo ships. Of course, any pictures or videos of Terminal 46, which is just south of the Coleman Dock Ferry Terminal, is going to appear empty, because it is, and it has been for years. In December 2024, the Port of Seattle Authority announced that Terminal 30 would close on January 1st due to third-party lawsuits over water quality and a years-long decline in traffic to the port. All shipping has been diverted to Terminal 5. Wait, lawsuits aside, why are 2 of the 5 terminals at the Port of Seattle closed? Because shipping traffic has been in decline since 2018, when 3.8 million 20-foot equivalent units, or TEUs, passed through Seattle. In 2024, the volume dropped to 2.97 million TEUs. Shipping traffic has dropped so low in Seattle that SSA Marine, that's the company that runs the terminals at the Port of Seattle, only operates 4 days a week. That started in late 2023. Wait a minute. I was told that the Port of Seattle is the second largest or third or fourth on the West Coast. Well, that's not exactly true either. The Seattle Port Authority runs the cruise ship terminals at Pier 66 and 91, Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, the Port of Seattle, and the Port of Tacoma. While shipping traffic in Seattle has declined for 6 years, traffic in Tacoma has increased, particularly in 2024, when TEUs exceeded Seattle by 33%. By itself, the Port of Seattle is the 7th largest on the West Coast, if we include Valdez, Alaska. Combined with Tacoma, it becomes the 3rd largest behind Los Angeles and Long Beach, both in California. Is the Port of Seattle empty of ships and containers? No. However, there are far fewer cargo containers across the port. One area we couldn't take pictures and videos of due to construction is between State Highway 99 and East Marginal Way, which is usually filled with shipping containers. That area is almost empty. We also observed that many of the railroad sidings at the port and along Highway 99 were also empty. However, what we saw was just a single moment in time, but I've never seen these areas empty before. Another indication that shipping traffic at the port has slowed beyond the decline that started in 2018, there were no cargo ships anchored in Elliott Bay waiting to be unloaded. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, ships were anchored along Alki Beach. What about the claims that no more ships from China are arriving in Seattle? That's a little more complicated. Shipping traffic is public information. The number of ships scheduled to arrive in Seattle in May is significantly lower than it was a year ago. But cargo ships from China are still arriving in Seattle. Sort of. The ships that are currently scheduled to arrive in May, including some vessels that are already at sea, are making a detour to Vancouver, British Columbia, and Canada first. Some new paperwork, unload and reload some containers, and poof! This shipment from China isn't from China anymore. It's coming from Canada. This brings up the next question. Are the claims of a retail Armageddon and looming empty shelves false? No, but some of those claims are definitely exaggerated. Due to tariffs, the U.S. supply chain is absolutely slowing down. U.S. companies that stocked up in January and February in anticipation of tariffs are now canceling orders. Shortages are coming. However, the situation at the Port of Seattle specifically is being misrepresented. There was plenty of truck activity with containers leaving and arriving, mostly at Terminal 5. Now, I can't tell you if these containers are full or empty from China or any other country. What I can tell you is that it's untrue that there is no truck traffic at the port. And as usual, the truth lies in the middle, and the truth is boring because the truth doesn't get clicks. And the truth is, traffic at the Port of Seattle has been in decline for 6 years. It has gotten a lot worse at the start of 2025. But people showing you pictures of Terminal 46 as proof that there is no activity at the Port of Seattle are at best misrepresenting the situation. Thank you for watching to the end. It is the best way to please the social media algorithm gods into believing that this was interesting content that should get pushed out to more people. If you want to support independent journalism, you can always follow and subscribe to Malcontent News. We're on a bunch of different channels. And if we learn more, we'll share more. Malcontent out.